Oh, that would be Mr. Iser.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. Two items this evening. One is the 21 Lawrence Plain Road, which I sent to you guys. I assume you got it.
Yes.
Can you put that on the screen, Bill? Please.
Yes, let me see. I have to go through an extra step.
When did that come in, Bill? I don't remember seeing it.
Let's see.
Middle of last week, maybe? Yesterday, I think.
Came in on Thursday.
Okay.
Yep. All right, let me see if I can download this. Okay. Less trouble than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. So this is 21 Lawrence Plain Road. I talked to you guys about this at your last meeting, told you it was coming. It's a piece of property with about 5 acres of land. The person who bought it is Matt Olszewski. He owns Four Seasons maintenance, landscaping, whatever is in the old Mitch Koski B&M building. He bought this so that his in-laws could live in the brick house number 21, and he wants to build a house for himself out back. And the bottom scenario is a 3-lot subdivision based on the Hadley regulations, 50-foot wide road, cul-de-sac. All the lots have at least 200 feet of frontage and 40,000 square feet. So there's 3 lots that are doable, and then I show open space. And in hindsight, I should add that to lot 3 to make lot 3 2 acres instead of 1 acre. So bottom line is I can legitimately get 3 lots out of this piece of property. The owner would like to just create 1 additional lot, put the remaining land into conservation restriction, so that he can build basically a driveway to the top part of the drawing is the 1 extra lot out back. I show a buildable area kind of in the middle. That's roughly where he wants to put a house, and then I have a restricted area either side of it, showing you the land area for that. And I was thinking, I left the road at 50 feet wide, thinking that would lessen the area that they can build on. And if you guys are in favor of me moving forward, we can talk about whether that makes sense or not, as far as, possibly narrowing down the roadway. I don't know what.
Why does he want to leave almost an acre between the front and the lot he wants to build on?
There's a hill there, Jimmy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it drops down into the flat.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay,
And it's his in-laws.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a big piece of area to leave between if there's not a good reason for it.
Yeah, so he would mow it and keep it up, but like I said, there's a pretty good hill there that drops down into where the flat area where he wants to build.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't. So you need the 50-foot wide swath, but I mean, the road's only going to be what, 20 feet or so?
If that, I mean, and because I'd be asking you to waive the subdivision regulations, we could narrow the road down if the board felt that was more advantageous to do that. But like I said, I left it 50 feet. That way, that part is definitely untouchable.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how the rest of the board feels on that. What is everybody comments on the 50 foot? Or other things?
So
I think it's necessary. You just want to be sure we have enough to support emergency vehicle access.
Right. If this is, if the board is agreeable to this, I will show, I mean, I've got to do everything, go back and survey it and do it right and show you where the driveway would be, or the roadway, the driveway, and any turnaround that would be appropriate for the fire department and the, emergency vehicles.
Randy, was that the area there was some controversy about drainage?
No,
I don't think so, Joe.
No, that's further south, Joe.
Okay.
This is Mike Costick's old property.
Oh, all right. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think the drainage would be the next lot. The drainage issue is two lots up maybe, and farther to the west.
Yeah.
There's some kind of a ravine in there that was subject to controversy, if you will.
Any other comments, questions?
Oh,
Okay. Next, Mr. Reiser.
Okay, so I will, get this thing moving forward and come back with some definitive plans, and we'll go from there. Item number 2, quite some time ago, I talked to you guys about Lisa Sanderson's property on Route 9, where she's losing quite a bit of her front yard, and she wanted to put in basically 2 curb cuts and put parking in front of the building. And she has since gone to talk to the state. They have agreed to allow her the second curb cut. And my question is, I've got to provide a new parking plan to the board. How much detail do you want? I mean, do you need topography, drainage, all that stuff so that you'll be happy to approve it ultimately?
What is the state looking for?
I don't know. I haven't seen any decision from the state. I know that they're probably going to tell her that her drainage can't go on to the road. So we're going to have to deal with that.
Well, how much of it, I mean, she's making this change is going to create like a U in the front yard or something?
Yes.
I mean, we're not talking, she doesn't have a whole lot of room to make a whole lot of changes there.
Right.
I mean, kind of give us a sketch of what she wants, and maybe from there we can make a determination of what kind of detail we want.
Okay.
Well, I can't imagine it's going to be a whole lot because there's not much room there to alter from what's already there.
Yeah.
Can there be any parking in the back, Randy?
There is some now, Mike.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to get some more. They're losing a few spaces, or maybe 2, because they're parked almost right up to the road right now. So
Yeah,
they're going to lose 1 or 2 spaces there. And I'll at the next meeting, I'll bring the plan that I showed you guys before, so that'll give us a good basis to start the conversation. So I know what you'll ultimately want from me.
Just okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. That's all I have. Thank you.
Right.
Let's see, Jeff Squire was in next.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am here on behalf of the Hadley or the Garden Supply Center on Route 9. I guess they had a recent stop work order, and so we're just trying to assist them and figure out what some of the concerns are. I know there's been some discussions about the fencing out front and the point of sale building, and so yeah, just starting with you guys to see what you know. And
Who's this?
the garden center.
Oh, yeah, they have from what we understand, they have a bunch of things that are in non-compliance with the Aquifer Protection District. They have two 4,500 gallon tanks.
Oh, this is, Jim, this is the other one. This is Gardner
Oh.
Supply.
Gardner Supply, yeah.
We did the waiver of site plan approval for them to reconfigure their parking lot.
Oh, okay.
But now they have stacked,
Gardner Supply. I'm sorry.
yeah. What's the street address there, Jeff?
Ooh,
285 Russell.
yeah, I'm sorry, 285, yes. Thanks, Pat.
Okay. Mr. Quinlan. Mr. Attorney Building Inspector. I'm assuming you've issued the stop work order? No
Can't hear
voice,
you.
no voice, Tom. Still can't hear you.
You have to leave and come back.
Hmm,
So maybe I was paying attention to some of the issues. One is that there was a request for fire access to the front of the building. So
Sure.
a gate was put in and a parking space had to be moved, but that space has now been completely filled with product. So there is no fire lane in front of the building anymore. So that's one concern, I believe. Second concern is that there's a sewer easement under there as well.
mhm.
And you have stuff stacked on top of the sewer easement, which is fine until DPW has to get in there to fix the sewer.
Sure.
And then there is a freestanding building. My original understanding was that there was going to be, you're taking down a lot of the little freestanding buildings around and about. And you now have one that has basically it's a sign. It's almost a billboard. It's additional signage beyond what you already have on your building. I think Tom is coming back in now. So if there's
Okay.
something I missed, I'm sure he'll fill it in.
And I can
Tom
certainly-
McCarthy from DPW is on as well.
Okay, great. And I did take some recent pictures and have some plans that I can share as well, if that would help facilitate the conversation.
Yeah, I had a little trouble pulling up what you had actually filed with us.
Yep.
It was a very intricate plan.
There's a lot going on the site, yeah. So if you want to give me, Bill, if you want to give me screen share abilities, I can at least share a couple of photos and maybe that'll be easier to talk to.
Yes.
So let's see. I'll start with this one. So this is the point of sale building. On the original plans, we had indicated that there was going to be a freestanding building inside the fence portion of the, commercial development. And this would serve as the, where folks would check out and where all the sales, would occur as people leave the site now that we've taken parking away from the front of the building. I can show you
That building used to be there, the checkout, when it was
that green one.
Hadley Garden Center, yeah.
That green building is new.
Green building, but there used to be a little checkout building.
There
there.
used to be, right.
Yeah.
Yep. And so what we had shown is right here, there was a point of sale building, point of sale kiosk that was indicated on the plans. And this, there's an exit here, there's a fire entrance, where the gates are. But that was always on the plans and intended to be a freestanding building that would have, power and, Wi-Fi access for checkout services. But it's, we didn't anticipate that it'd be much more than, really what's shown. This is almost a simpler version of what we were intending. And so anyway, that's.
I believe there is even more. There's larger scale signage on the western face of it too, isn't there?
That would, yeah, I don't know.
I don't, it's,
There is a logo and a mission statement on the back.
yeah,
And
it's
there's a
not the
door.
building that's the problem with, it's the advertising. You're exceeding the allowable signage when you put that signage on that building. That's the problem.
Okay. And so what qualifies, would just this logo?
The signage, it says Gardner Supply on, I think, 3 or 4 sides.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't think there's room on the end elevations. Yeah. Okay.
What does the main sign look like compared to this? Is the green considered part of the sign on the main sign?
No, on this one,
On the main sign, isn't there another sign on the main building?
Has that, yeah, Pat, can you speak to?
That has not been removed yet. That's still the old Hadley Garden Center sign.
So you're gonna keep that with Gardner Supply?
No, that's not the long-term plan.
So I guess the question is, how many square foot of signage do they have right now?
That's the question.
right,
What Jeff showed us on the prior plan said, yes, there's going to be a kiosk there. It didn't call out the design of the kiosk.
Right.
So you're entitled to a sign on your building, the main building. But when you start putting up more, you're busting through the limits.
So if we quantify the amount of, building signage, and we've certainly got a ground sign indicated on the plans here, but if we quantify the square footage of building signage.
That actually raises a question that I think may come up later, but you also have another sign down the road, don't you? Sort of a triangular shaped sign to the further to the west.
One out here somewhere.
oh,
Yes.
way closer to Mill Valley, over there someplace,
Yeah.
right, yeah. And those are grandfathered in. Okay, we're not gonna, the triangular sign, if you would, closer to Mill Valley's been there. Well, it's a grandfathered sign, leave it at that.
But the point is you are already, you're oversigned for the property as it is.
Right.
And now you've added whatever additional signage is on the kiosk.
If you didn't have Hadley the garden center on the sign on the kiosk, it just had a bunch of flowers and stuff, it might be considered a mural, just like LL Bean.
Sure.
What's happening to LL Bean? I don't see a mural there.
It used to be there. We approved it.
Tom, do you have audio now? No, you don't.
Pat's got his tongue.
No,
Let me
Tom,
call him. Let me call him and he can talk through my cell phone, maybe. Let me see.
And I don't know whether you want to talk through some of the fence concerns or settle this one first.
Quinlan, iPhone.
Tom?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the
Wait up. I'm gonna let him hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Can everybody hear me now? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
So some of the issues was the advertisement was the first thing. The building wasn't permitted, electrical or building with no tie down. And the third is the ramp towards the north side interferes on the one picture. You'll see this with the 20-foot for the fire department, clearance to get in the front there. Those were some of that structure.
You got some kind of feedback.
That's you, Mike, because we're hearing this, it's hearing the feedback from your phone, you know.
Right.
1 second.
You'd have to turn down your,
Phone?
no, you'd have to turn down your computer, but then you
Okay, I
wouldn't
can do
hear,
that.
but then you wouldn't hear what Tommy's saying.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what ramp he's.
Yep.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
So where the arrow is, there's a ramp that was off the building, and all this is interfering. You'll see the gate for access for the fire department. That was a concern with the fire chief.
Yep.
Do you understand where that is, Pat? 'Cause I'm not.
I do. Yes, it comes out of the kind of person door on the side there, right there. Yep.
Okay. It comes out this way.
I think I noticed that today. It cuts in a little bit on the left-hand gate.
Okay. So it sounds like we could probably turn that 90 degrees and avoid the fire lane.
We can fix that. Yes.
Okay. So then in terms of the sewer easement, so part of our coordination with the front of the building had to do with the, obviously what work is going on with the DOT work. And their proposal, so the manhole that is sort of centrally located on the site is roughly in this location right now. And so the proposal from DOT is that this elevation along the road is going to drop so that there's a sidewalk, that there's going to be a curb at the back. Do I have these plans? Yes. So what they were proposing, and they don't have the manhole here, but it is literally located right over you can see on our plan where that manhole is. Relative to the curve that DOT is proposing. So I'm not entirely certain what their plan is with this. But what our plan was to locate the fence on the top side of that, that curb in an area that, is currently shown as green space and is certainly within the easement. But I guess, at least in terms of the way we were thinking about it, is that this aluminum fence, which is removable, is a far less of a concern than some of the other stuff that DOT is doing. And if access was ever needed to that line, removal of that fence was really the least of the concerns.
Well, Scott is on here, I believe, the DPW director. And right now, this in front of town council, there's a 10-foot easement. From coming from what we've heard, towards the garden center, and they would like to put the fence at 10 feet. Because there's no control what DOT is going to do, what the state's doing, but that would give them the access, which would interfere with where the kiosks and everything could be, the 20 feet to the fire.
So I'm going to suggest that Jeff and Pat, that you be in direct contact with the fire department and the DPW on this, because we can't make a decision without input from them. I think you've got a sense now of what the problems or what the issues are, but there's so much up in the air that we can't say, yeah, go ahead, do it this way or do it that way. I'd really like to have you talk to DPW and fire and building directly, and then come back to us with a solution that we can sign off on, if we even need to.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You could make everybody else happy. We did waive site plan approval for this. So I don't think you necessarily have to come back if everyone else can be satisfied.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And I wasn't entirely certain where some of the issues or concerns were, so I just wanted to, have an open forum to be able to discuss those and understand what the issues were.
That's okay.
Great. Okay, well, we will reach out tomorrow.
Very good. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you for your prompt attention.
I'm gonna hang up now, Tom.
Thanks.
All right, next up I have Nicole, I think on the signs.
Nicole? Are you there?
Paul, you're muted and you have no camera.
You are muted, Nicole.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 And see me now?
Yes.
No,
No.
But we can't see you. We can hear you.
Okay. That's weird. Okay. All right, well, I guess, do you have to see me?
Well, what can we do for you?
Okay, so I am back. I was there a couple weeks ago for 321 Russell Street. We wanted to move the sign, but it looked like the sign was going to be moved over. It's for Window Works. It looked like the sign was going to be in the middle of the parking lot.
Yes.
So I sent the new layout, and they're actually putting an island in the middle of the parking lot, like to separate the incoming and outgoing, and that's where the sign's going to go.
Do we have a drawing of that?
I did send one back on the 24th.
Yep, I have it. And let me just bring it up. So that is the sign design, which is basically what is there.
Correct. And see if you can see the bottom left-hand picture there. That shows it's going to be approximately right there where the little island is going to be.
Also, it's going to be between the driveways, if you would.
Yes, between the incoming and outgoing there. So last time when we said it, it literally looked like it was going to be in the parking lot. So, but it is going to be in the parking lot. They didn't tell me that it was going to be in an island in the middle of the parking lot.
Okay.
What's the setback from the property line now? From the state highway property line?
Huh. I'm not sure. I believe they're planning on doing it exactly parallel to where it is now.
That was given a special exemption because of the handicap accessible ramp, so.
I believe they're moving the ramp. That's what I was informed last time. So what was the exception, you believe?
In fact, there was too close to the highway line.
Okay.
And how wide is the curb cut there? Do you have an in and an out? And an island?
Well, we don't really know how far back it's going to be until they, they're widening the road, right?
Right, so the reason you couldn't have the required minimum setback was that because of where the ramp was located. But now if you're moving it to a new location,
Mm-hmm.
you can get more, you can meet the minimum setback.
What is the minimum setback there?
Hmm,
Probably 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
So just for understanding purposes here,
Mm-hmm.
where your purple proposed sign location, that is an entrance into the property,
Yes, that's where the parking lot is.
and where the blue existing sign location, that's going to be like an exit to the property?
No.
No, the existing is the one that's there now. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna put an island. I guess they're gonna widen the entranceway. They're redoing the parking lot, the whole parking lot.
Right,
And when they do it, they're putting an island in between the entrance and exit. So on both sides of the sign, they're gonna have, there'll be, I'm sorry, in between the entrance and exits, there's gonna be an island. And they want to put it on the island.
right, I understand that.
Yep,
Where the proposed sign location, that purple arrow right there.
yes,
The purple
that is
arrow.
in the middle of the parking lot.
That's that right there, that is going to be an entrance into the parking lot?
Yes,
And the exit from the parking lot.
right. It's an
Correct.
In and an out lane.
Yes,
All in the same location,
correct.
because
When you say island, what is the nature of that island?
the way you're describing it and the way it's drawn, it looks like you have an entrance into the property and a separate exit from the property.
Right in that spot. And then there's gonna be the sign in between. There's gonna be a skinny island
Yeah.
in between where
I-
the sign is gonna sit.
That's my point. So you're going to have an entrance where the purple is and an exit where the blue is. Is
No,
that correct?
there's no exit where the blue is. The blue is right in front of the building. It looks like they're widening the curb cut to get it one lane in and one lane out. Plus a tiny island in the center.
Yeah, we're playing a semantics game here, but the semantics game is important for the state highway because if they may look at it as a extra curb cut that they would have to grant. It's their highway, not our highway. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know how they'll see it, but if they pull the island back onto their property, then it's just one curb cut.
correct.
Right, the island isn't gonna touch the street. It's gonna be back further.
Okay, so
That was the question of the setback, so.
so this sign, the existing sign location, this is just going to disappear.
It's going away.
That's what-
Correct.
That part's going away. So this whole
Yep.
sign is going to be moved 20 feet west to
Yes,
be put in the middle of a to be determined with driveway.
correct.
So I don't think we can approve this on this basis because as you said, they're reconfiguring the parking.
Mhm.
We don't know what the parking, we don't know how wide that's going to be. We don't know if it might make perfect sense to do it that way. It might also be a traffic nightmare to do it that way.
Yeah, I think it has to move back so that the cars exiting can see oncoming
I'm looking,
eastbound traffic.
I'm looking at it from a point of view is because of where the sign is going to be, the driveway is essentially, the street is moving north, if I'm correct. So that the distance from the sign to the green space, for lack of a better term, from the road to the sign is going to be reduced. Will the sign be in the way of line of sight for traffic?
Seems
That's
like-
one of the questions I was trying to ask.
Oh, I understand. Okay, I understand what you're saying. It's gonna have to be moved back so that people can see it. I mean, as long as you have, I mean, if it's, I would say it might need to be back more than 10 feet because the cars are gonna need to be able to see left and right when they're exiting.
That was the question I was raising about the different driveways, because, all right, leave it that alone. You know, what is the line of sight? How far, what is, you know, Mr. Dwyer's like the parking lot is gonna be reconfigured. Well, that's gonna have an impact on a number of things here. You know, we're not trying to, by any means, drag this out from your point of view. I mean, the sign's gonna move. The sign is not changing. Within
Right.
reason, we'll approve where the sign is going to go as long as everything is safe. So,
Correct.
I mean, to say.
Well, as long as it's 10 feet back, do you think that's safe? Like, I mean, if you figure the length of a car, I mean, they're gonna be able to come out and the sign won't be in the way when they're looking to try and get out of the parking lot.
So
But isn't that also a bus stop in front of it? So if there's a bus there and your sign, you're not going to be able to see any westbound traffic coming as you exit.
I'm thinking that this is actually something that has to be taken up as a waiver of further site plan approval, because it's not just a matter of relocating the sign. There are site reconfigurations going on.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
it's, you know, I agree. We don't want to make anybody go through any extra hoops. We just want to make sure that everything is safe.
Right.
And,
Oh, absolutely. I don't blame you.
you know,
And parking was tight for that site, and I remember we put some restrictions on the garage upstairs. Could be used only for storage, et cetera.
yeah,
Okay.
So-
Jimmy, can I say something?
sure.
Keep in mind too, that there's that multi-use bike walking path between the road and the property line that you gotta be concerned with here.
Yeah. Right. I
You don't
mean,
want, you don't want the cars parked in the middle of that. So the sign's gotta be back far enough to avoid that as well.
all of those things, it's like, there's a lot going on right here.
And I'm not clear which line is the property line after the easement, after the taking.
I'm with you, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know what the, I honestly don't know what the setback is from the new property line.
Yeah. I think you've marked up a construction drawing where there might be a drawing with less information that would be more the information we want. Because there's a lot of superfluous information here that just clouding the issues.
No kidding.
Kind of like the Canadian smoke that's fogging our skies today.
Oh, I hear you there. It's awful.
So I think in this case, probably what we need to ask is, we need to ask the property owner to come in
Okay.
and show us what the property is going to look like after Mass Highway is done with it. And then we'll see if, with all of the features, including the bike path, and get some numbers on how wide that reconfigured driveway is going to be. These are all beyond the scope of sign design.
Yes.
We're not criticizing anything that you've done, but we need more from the property owner in this particular location.
Okay.
Maybe, so we're talking about not the old bike path, but the new bike path. Maybe we should start calling it a bike lane just to differentiate. Right?
What's it called? A multi-use walk and
Multi-use path.
Multi-use.
Is there an acronym for that?
Where is that?
One on each side of the road.
Yeah, it's the extra wide sidewalk.
Each side of Route 9 is going to have a sidewalk, which will be a combination bike path, walking path.
Oh, okay.
No, they're separate, Jim.
I thought they might have been separate.
Oh, really? I thought they were the same.
So
Is
there's
there-
going to be 3 lanes on either side. There will be bike lanes, and on either side of the bike lanes, there's going to be sidewalks on both
Oh, okay.
sides.
I don't think that's correct, Joe.
I thought that was what they were proposing to us, but
No, I think it's just one.
No, that sounds like downtown Northampton, Joe.
okay, that's,
That's a whole nother quagmire.
mhm.
Yeah, whatever they are doing is not well depicted on this particular
Right.
plan. So, yeah, we'll just need to go and get more. We need as Mark said, we need something less, yet something more, something that
Exactly. We
Mhm.
need less of the information we don't need and more of the information we do need.
Right.
So
Okay,
property lines, what the width is of the new driveway is going to be, and where the bike lane is going to be in relation to all of that.
Okay.
Like if they had a pavement plan, that would be helpful as opposed to,
Yeah, this is pretty much all they
this
gave
looks
me.
like a utilities plan.
Um, yeah, they didn't give me very good pictures.
And it's,
I think we understand I think we now understand what they want to do.
Right,
We
but
just
just,
don't know if that is a good idea.
and,
right,
and do
I
we,
mean, that is a big sign, I'm not gonna deny that, so,
and I'm assuming that the state has approved the widening of your curb cut because that looks like they've shown it on your drawing, on their drawing. If that's their,
yes.
yeah,
We actually, our customer is the Mass DOT,
okay.
so that's who we do this for.
And on the lower right side of this plan, is that the Whole Foods entrance and exit there?
Hold on,
Yes, over
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
oh, okay,
all right. Well, that's gonna be a busy spot, and it looks like a bus stop right there on each
The
side.
bus stop was right in here, but I guess you're right. I guess the bus stop is going to be indented here.
Right, and on the opposite side, so that's gonna be a.
is that that blue sign there?
I
Well,
think where the road widens a bit,
see how the curb comes down here
yeah,
and
Yeah.
likewise comes up here?
Mm-hmm,
That's the new configuration for a bus stop.
oh, okay,
So it can pull off out of the traffic lane.
which is good, but it's also gonna be a sightlines issue. You know, if that bus pulls in and you're trying to pull out and you don't see oncoming, yeah, there's a lot of
Okay.
concern. I have a lot of anxiety about that.
okay, well, that's not good then. We don't want anybody to have anxiety over that. Okay, so I will explain to my boss and he can talk to the Mass DOT and they can talk to the owner. Now, I just have a question. Are they supposed to be getting a permit to redo the driveway? Like if they were putting an island in and stuff, are they supposed to get it? Is that like a permitted thing or can they just do that?
Not from the town. It might be with the state.
Okay,
But when you're doing things, what they're doing is they're modifying the previously approved site plan. So when you're putting an island elsewhere on the property,
mhm,
that does come back to us.
okay,
Not for permitting well, it's not like we're permitting the construction, but under the site plan approval, it's a change in the way the site is laid out.
right,
So that does trigger us again, coming back to us.
okay. All right, so I will see if the owner already, I mean, they might already have layouts for it. I'm not sure. They didn't send them to me, so,
Or Mass Highway may have other plans for other purposes, but what we need really is the property line, the width of the new driveway, and the relationship of the new driveway with the bicycle pedestrian facility.
okay,
And just a Crayola crayon would help, like if you colored in the buildings, the structures, you know, the things which are visual impediments. You know, I think that would help, because not everyone reads plans the same.
right.
So any color coding you can do helps improve clarity for everyone.
Okay, well, the next time this comes before you guys, it'll probably be my boss and the owner.
Okay, Jim, Scott has his hand
Scott,
up.
you got your hand up?
Yeah, just not to interrupt your conversation, but for visualization to this, the fire hydrant there was moved last week or the week before or whatever, and that's on the back side of the sidewalk. So if they, for visual reasons, if they can give you a picture of the fire hydrant, that'll give you you guys a good line of sight there. The fire hydrant is moved in on the back side of the new proposed sidewalk.
Okay.
So if you take a current picture, Nicole, like in, anything now on, right?
Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
So we're here the first and third Tuesdays, so we'll be here in 2 weeks.
Okay.
The following meeting falls on July 4th, and we will not be here.
No,
Nope.
I will.
Okay, so I will let him know and hopefully they can take care of this in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So the 20th.
Yes.
Yes. July-
Okay.
June 20.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
So we are kind of beyond schedule. I have, let's see. I think everyone else here, we have Craig Durza. Are you here for general planning board, or are you here with one of the projects? And he seems to be frozen.
Shoot. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I still frozen?
No.
No, you're moving now.
All right. I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be doing another Barn Fest in October. And it was approved last year. So we're going to do another one. It's just a single day on Sunday, October 1st. And it will have my side field. It'll have we'll have porta potties. I'll be doing prepackaged goodies, and we're hoping to have a DJ and the possibility of one food vendor.
What's the property address there?
We'll do the same. It's 30 Lawrence Plain Road in Hadley.
Okay.
And so currently this is the house and the barn behind. And so we have the back field that people will park in, and then the side field will be where the tents are, same as last year.
Just make sure you go to the select board and the Board of Health and the fire department and everybody, all those other departments, to make sure they get the right permits and the right buy-in for everybody. Because if you've got food trucks, the Board of Health and the fire department are interested.
And you said October?
Yes.
First, it's a Sunday. Okay. Really, that's the only thing is if we have a food truck, correct? Because prepackaged, I wouldn't need to go through that, right?
Well, if you're going to have entertainment or something like that, I would go to talk to the Board of Selectmen, at least the town administrator and the fire department and the Board of Health to see what kind of permits, if anything, you need, depending what you're going to do. We can only give you, just to cover your bases and make sure that you don't want to have a problem on a day that you start, oh my goodness, they come in and, some kind of chaos breaks loose because you didn't get the right permit.
Okay.
But it's only going to be a bigger event than you had last year.
Yeah, Well, year, it was the first time I did anything like that. So, of course, more signage will be happening this year as well for parking and other things like that. Like along the road, we'll have the no parking signs this year. I should have had that last year. But I did have a parking attendant. And so we just had a lot of learning, but it did really well. We had like about over 300 people that showed up. So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last year's event. It was a relatively quiet event, if you would. And just want to make sure that you don't get into any trouble by missing a step this year, because it sounds like it might be a little bit bigger. Just, like I said, talk to those boards and make sure you're good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now Bill's frozen, or maybe the cat got him.
No, let's see. I think everyone else is connected to one of the public hearings.
Okay. All right.
Is there anyone here who is not here for one of the public hearings? I'll take that as a no.
Very good. Okay, we'll start with the Andrew Black public hearing on 358 River Drive. Read the notice as it appeared in the Gazette. The Hadley Planning Board will conduct a Zoom public hearing on Tuesday, June 6th, 2023, beginning at 6:45 p.m. Purpose of the hearing is to review the application of Andrew Black for a special permit to create an accessory apartment at 358 River Drive. Plans may be viewed by emailing planning@hadley.ma or visit town clerk's office during normal business hours. Published twice in the Gazette, May 23 and 30. And with that, Mr. Black, you can explain to us what you want to do.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, I'm looking to connect my current house to exterior dwelling that already is on the property. I'm going to connect the two with a breezeway and a 2-car garage, and basically convert what is now being used as a garage into a 900 square foot in-laws apartment for my mother. It's actually a perfect 30 by 30 space, so it kind of works out to the 900 that the maximum is already. I plan on using all the utilities from the house, so I'll be running a drain into the foundation to tie onto the existing drain that goes to the septic. I'll be running heat lines, the hot and cold water lines back to the existing boiler that's in the current house. So all utilities will be shared, along with, same with the electrical will be running from the house panel. Everything's shared from the current dwelling. So it's really an addition of living space for what's here.
Okay. You have something from the Board of Health that says the septic system is adequate for all this?
I have the septic plan, and I'm pretty sure as long as I don't increase the bedroom limit, that I'm good for that plan. There won't be, it'll be adding a 4th bedroom, which the current plan shows is good for.
You have something from the Board of Health that says that it's okay to do that, is what I'm asking.
I do not.
Okay,
We will need that.
we will need that. Okay. And because you're joining the shed, if you would, to the house, it appears that the shed, I don't know how, from the plot plan you gave us, it's not clear, there's no dimension on it, what the side yard setback is from the house to the property line.
Yeah.
But in your zone, it needs to be 40 feet. And the shed appears to be closer than 40 feet to the side yard. So we can't give you permission to make, the shed is now considered an accessory structure. An accessory structure setback is 15 feet. A main residence is 40 feet. So if you're going to be less than 40 feet setback, 40-foot setback because you've joined the buildings, then you would need a variance of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
So
And
though it's an existing structure, it then goes under those new setbacks because it becomes part of the home?
yes, yes. By joining the structure, you're essentially making the shed a house, part of the house, whether you like it or not.
Okay. And then if I get the plot plan and it proves otherwise, then I would continue moving forward with the planning board. Otherwise, would I
Yes.
switch gears right away and go zoning board?
Yep, if you find out that the shed is indeed 40-foot side yard, just come back to us with those, give us a drawing, like you do with a plot plan.
Yep.
And you should be in good shape with that, with a letter from the Board of Health.
Okay. Sounds good. So would this be 2 weeks from now? Would this be a matter that we can deal with from here moving
Yes,
forward,
we
just a
can-
regular meeting?
We can continue this hearing until the 20th,
Okay,
and we can make that, find out what's going on, and if you can get everything done for then, that would be okay. Any
okay.
other comments from the board? Questions?
Nope.
Do we have elevations of the front?
Yeah, the one drawing that Bill did, that he did send it, and Bill sent it around, is an elevation and kind of a floor plan, I believe.
Yep.
I just was trying to look at the,
Oh, and when you do the plot plan, show where you're gonna have some parking spaces for the apartment and for existing structure. I mean, you got, your driveway seems to be adequate to do that, so it's not gonna, shouldn't be a problem.
What's the minimum amount of spaces that I would be
You
required?
need, I think it's 3 parking spaces, Mr. Dwyer?
I don't remember, I thought it's either 1 or 2 for the accessory apartment in addition to what you have, but I believe you have an adequate number.
And if, yeah, so it can share the existing as long as it has enough parking?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble
Great.
bringing up the zoning.
A total of 3 off-street parking spaces must be provided. And I believe you probably have more than adequate space for that.
Yeah.
That includes both the accessory apartment and the main house. It's only gonna be 3 spaces.
Okay.
Some people even use the space in the garage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's a parking space. That's
I
where-
suppose that's it, where we will be parked 2 cars all the time.
Yeah,
so that
so-
makes sense. Okay, I should be good there.
So I'll make a motion to continue to Tuesday, June 20th.
Okay,
Second.
motion a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Andrew, call me tomorrow.
I will. Thanks.
Right.
All right. Next one, let's see. The Hadley Planning Board will conduct a Zoom public hearing on Tuesday, June 6, 2023, beginning at 6:45 PM. Purpose of the hearing is to review the application of Pyramid Mall for special permits, site plan approval, business use in aquifer, and TDR, transfer development rights to construct approximately a 3,000 square foot outbuilding on the property at 375 Russell Street for a proposed Chase Bank building. Location is roughly easterly of, actually it's westerly of Trader Joe's. Plans are available by emailing Hadley at planning@hadleyma.org or visit Town Clerk Office. Published twice in the Gazette, May 1 and 8. And who's going to be talking? Mr.
Good
Klein?
evening. Good evening. Nice to see everyone again.
Okay,
So I can get started. Josh Klein with Stonefield Engineering and Design. We're here representing the applicant TPG Architecture LLP. We're here tonight to propose a new Chase Bank, kind of located to the left or to the west of Trader Joe's as described in the notice. What I'll do is just share some plans, kind of go through. I mean, this is will be our kind of our 3rd meeting, but this is our first public meeting. Just to kind of get a couple things out, if anyone from the public's here. So here's the kind of the overall site plan that you can see. Again, Trader Joe's is kind of to the north. Our site or out parcel is to the west of Trader Joe's that I'm highlighting. So I'm pulling up, this is an exhibit that we prepared. It takes the site plan, merges it with the landscape plan and colorizes it just to make it a little bit easier for us to talk through. So you can kind of see South Maple Street to the left or to the west. And then again, Trader Joe's would be kind of covered by our zoning tables, but is to the right or to the east. As I zoom in, so the kind of this paved area you can see is the widening of South Maple Street as part of DOT's project. And then this light gray is that new sidewalk or path that they're putting in on our site. So we do take into account, you can actually see the old property line is that lighter black or thinner black line. And then the taking that happened is this dark black line here. So, kind of working, with this board, we modified the layout, adjusted the plan to kind of pull, went with a different, kind of a custom size Chase building, pulled everything back to get everything out of the setbacks, and then kind of create a little bit more open space kind of with these modifications. So you can see that we're kind of maintaining this open space to the kind of the north of the Chase building. This is not a stormwater management facility. So water does shed off of this hill and is kind of collected by a head wall here, but there's no stormwater management property to this area where the Chase is infilled. I'm happy to, we did prepare traffic report, stormwater report, kind of, full in-depth plans. I mean, I'm happy to go into more detail on the technical side, but I feel like opening it to questions may be easier. So we are in the aquifer protection overlay district, so we are seeking a special permit for that tonight, and we would have to kind of pay into the farmland preservation fund or buy through the bylaw due to building coverage. So this site today, and I'll just kind of highlight it, as approved, the building coverage was 20.4%, so it was over the requirement, and now under existing, the coverage goes up to 20.5%, and that's due to these recent takings that have happened. So the property has gotten smaller. So just what we're kind of basing our calculations off of. And then our change is 20.6%, so 0.1% or approximately 3,000 square feet, which accounts for the Chase Bank. So it's a very kind of minor, change, but kind of in part of the existing parcel getting smaller with the DOT takings, as well as kind of that additional building. It does trigger the need for a special permit, for that area. We do meet all the other requirements, open space, parking, setbacks. So there's no kind of relief from that aspect of the project. We kind of meet all those bulk standards as well. So again, I'll open it up with any questions. I'm happy to kind of run through anything in more depth.
Just one question. What someplace in one of the drawings, there was a line that you're going to tie into an existing natural gas line?
Let me pull up. We do have a utility plan. Sorry. Make sure. So water is tying into the water service that's next to Trader Joe's, to the right side of Trader Joe's. Now we do show gas service kind of with a kind of not being terminated. So there's gas service at the back of the property. Chase is looking at the potential of doing a kind of electric heating system, so they would not require gas.
I'm going to say two questions. I mean, the distance to run a gas line is one thing, but with a moratorium on a natural gas line, we were just wondering how you could possibly get permission to tie into it.
Yeah, again, we'd have to confirm with the utility authority if they're not going to allow kind of that additional. But again, Chase is looking at doing kind of all electric heat at this location.
Okay, so you're talking electric heat, not propane or otherwise.
Correct.
Okay. Because even the fire chief was wondering about if you didn't think you'd get a natural gas permit, but if you were talking propane, you put the tanks. So, well, if it's electric, that's fine. Eversource will be happy. I think.
Jim, is he looking for a transfer of development rights Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Transfer development rights usually is for inadequate parking, but he says he has enough parking.
Yeah, what's the trigger for transfer development rights?
It's for the building coverage to increase the allowable building coverage.
Okay.
So we're permitted in the zoning district. I believe that the zoning district is 30%. But because we're in the aquifer overlay district, it decreases to 20%. And so the site today is at 20.5, and there'll be a 0.1% increase, about 3,000 square feet.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And have you worked out what the table of equivalents would be for that?
I do have the table but I have not submitted it.
Is coverage one of the things covered under TDR? Because we never applied it for that. I'm just asking. I'm looking up the bylaw now.
So under section 17.9.2, density, lot coverage, and parking reductions may be permitted under the development rights. So the board may allow a lot coverage increase, up to a maximum of 70%.
Okay, so you're going for 3,000.
We're going from an increase. Let me get the exact numbers. We're on the site plan. We went through a lot of files to make sure we get all of these. So we are seeking an increase. Let me get the exact number.
Okay. All right. Yes.
3,164 square feet.
So 2,000 square feet, 1 acre buys 2,000 square feet of additional commercial or industrial floor area. Okay, so
you're looking at 1.5.
A little over 1.5, yeah, 1.6 acres.
$1.58.
All right. I want to split hairs that much.
The cost per acre, Jim, is what, 9,500 now?
Yes, that's the latest number we have.
Okay.
9,500 times 1.58.
$15,029.
Okay.
Now look at how simple this was to resolve. And I hope that sometimes in the near future, we can do something like that with the amount we can assess a developer for affordable housing trust fund.
The payment in lieu?
Payment in lieu, for example, so much of building, what's an average building lot? This is an average of the transfer of development rights paid over the state. So it's the average, and it seems to be fair, and it seems to be obvious, and we're not making up the rules as we go along. These have been written pretty much in stone for a while. That's my editorial comment for this. So
where does that $9,500 come from?
It's an average of the prior 3 years paid to APR land in the town of Hadley.
So it's a Hadley number, Hadley created number.
No, it's a state created
That's
number.
right, that's what I mean. Where does it come from?
It's a state created number for Hadley land.
That's the difference, Zeke.
So the thing is, it's an average. So when I went through and generated it, they paid premium prices for some parcels and bargain basement prices for some other parcels. So the average cost per acre averaged those out. It averaged the extremes out, but there were some low ball purchases and some land they really wanted.
Exactly. So
So I don't recall that we had. Did we get a peer review on this?
no.
We have not received a peer review.
It's certainly a very thorough presentation, but in as much as we don't have a town engineer to verify all the facts and figures, although we have one engineer on the board and an architect as well, but nevertheless, we do feel more comfortable if you go through a peer review and it makes it consistent with all the other projects that we have done.
Yeah, I apologize if we didn't mention this to you, but I thought I had shared our peer review, our
Yes.
list of peer reviewers with someone on your project.
I remember you had said you were going to send it to them, Bill. Yes.
We
No,
have,
I mean, listen, we understand. We want to make this project as successful as the board does. So Bill, should we, do you guys have to approve tonight to bring a peer reviewer on? Can we use any of your peer reviewers? I guess we'd love to continue the process.
Yeah, you can use any of the way we have set up the system is that we have we built our list of peer reviewers primarily on the basis of who has prepared a well thought out plan for another project. They've demonstrated familiarity with our bylaw. And so by that standard, you're eligible to be considered to be added to our peer review list because this is very well done. But it always helps to have another set of eyes on it. So yes, I will send that list to you again. And
it's Berkshire and Bucky, and who else do we have?
you can check. You can talk directly with anyone on the list. We do not need to have things circled back through us. We don't need feedback. We just want to have you work with whichever of them of the approved reviewers can give you the fastest turnaround. We're satisfied that they all can do good work.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting it timely is going to be the choke point here. But anybody you can, and you can negotiate your own price with them. We used to collect a peer review fee and then pay the peer reviewer from the town, but that was cumbersome. So we ask you to just go out, talk to the people, make your best deal for time and money, and we'll get a letter from them hopefully soon.
Perfect. That'll be great. I can reach out to you, get a copy of that list, and we'll be underway.
Will Chase be providing any other services besides traditional banking services?
So they do have a financial component or a wealth management component that they provide at the branches as well.
Thanks. Little competition.
And remind me, is there a canopy over the drive-through?
Yeah, no problem. So there is a canopy that comes over, projects over, just enough to kind of protect you when you're reaching out your window to use the ATM.
Gotcha.
So that's just an ATM drive up?
Correct. Yeah, there's no exterior teller windows. They do have, if you want to see a kind of a teller, you can go inside the branch, but it's just an ATM drive up.
Yeah, I think we had touched on that before. It helps to remind and refresh. Thank you.
Okay. When would you like this continued to, Mr. Klein? I'm assuming 2 weeks is probably too soon.
I would, I hope your peer reviewers move quickly, but I don't think they're going to move that quickly.
And July 4th, so the best we can do is a month from today.
Perfect.
July
think
18th?
I think that would be great.
Okay,
What's that, July 18th?
yes.
Yes.
Compliments on the presentation graphics. It's very clear and readable.
I second that, Mark.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to continue to July 18th.
Right. Well, thank you for the time. We'll see you guys soon. Have a nice board.
We have a second for the motion.
We have something?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I hear you. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. See you on the 18th, Mr. Klein and others, and thank you very much. That's a very, very good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
I make a motion to appoint Mark Dunn as chairman for the next year.
Oh, yes.
Second.
And you'll deliver all of your materials to him, Jim, so he can take over.
I hope there's no second.
Do you want to be chairman?
I would like Jim to be chairman. He's doing a stand-up job.
He doesn't have enough experience.
If you second that, just check your tire pressure before you leave home
I withdraw
tomorrow.
my second.
I would make a motion to approve all the people who, not only the secretary, but the chairman and all the resultant appointments to other boards, if and required.
I would move that.
Same slate, in other words.
I would move that we get Tommy a better microphone for his laptop.
Okay.
Well, we still can't hear you, Tom.
We still can't hear you. We're robbed of your sweet crooning voice.
So the motion from Dr. Zagradnik, second by Mr. Dunn to reappoint all current positions.
Do that.
Any other discussion? Everybody good with that?
Good.
Yep.
Right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Very good.
Mike, you could have been a contrarian there. You could have thrown in a.
Oh, you're the only contrarian we've got, so maybe you need a guy to be there with you.
Mr. McCarthy, do you have anything else for us before we move on with some other stuff? I don't want to leave you.
No, I didn't know if we needed to talk about that Chase Bank or not, so.
No, as long as they're talking electrical, heat, so that takes a whole lot of stuff away.
Yeah.
I'm sure Mike will be tickled that there's not going to be any propane on board.
Well, certainly electricity is going to be a little bit more expensive, but I'm wondering if this builder could afford it.
Yeah. Well, they may end up putting solar on the roof. Who knows?
I was wondering that.
I'll tell you that the town fathers and mothers that got us the deal for our electricity did a pretty darn good job. But just pay attention to your electric bill next time you see it, and the cost of delivery is actually costing a lot more than the cost of electricity.
Yeah. Got a couple of invoices to pay. First one is planning board payroll for the second quarter of $575. Motion to pay.
So moved.
And seconded.
A second. All in favor? Aye,
Aye. What was the amount?
575. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Then we have an invoice to pay the Gazette $393.92 for the legal notice in the Gazette for Mr. Black.
I would move to pay it.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Not? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. That is all I have for now. Anything else, Mr. Dwyer?
I don't think I have anything. I don't have anything else.
Okay. Anybody else have anything?
Just one correction. I was thinking about that sign for the Roberts windows. I think the exception that we made was for the handicap accessible ramp, not the sign.
Right, I think it was too.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to make an exception for the ramp. Those are exempt.
Right, yeah.
But I think it was something about the sign. I think you were right the first time because of the ramp.
Because of the ramp, yeah.
The sign, if the sign was back as far as it was supposed to be, it would have been on the ramp.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
yeah.
it's such a wide sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Quinlan, do you have a voice?
No,
Still no voice.
no voice, Tom.
You were just connected twice. What happened to your other connection?
Yeah.
That was me. I'll call him back. You have anything to say, Tom?
Do you have anything? No? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Glad to have you back from vacation.
Yeah.
So he did try to connect from a couple of different devices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Left to his own devices. Yeah.
Yep. You have anything else, Mr. Iser?
I think he's out.
No, I'm set.
Okay. Do you need me at tomorrow night select boards meeting? Anything for that food truck stuff?
I don't think so, Jimmy. I looked over the proposed bylaw, and it is a little convoluted. I don't know if you want to come, that would probably be nice, but there's parts where it looks like it's only on town property, and then in other parts they mention private property. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope town council's there.
Well, the original one, and after the town council got through with it, I don't understand the town council one. So I'm not sure which one I may go if I have a chance.
Yeah, that'd probably be helpful for everybody, so we all know what's happening.
All righty.
Motion to adjourn.
Zeke, you want to pick me up?
I will.
Thank you.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Meeting is history. Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night, gentlemen.